Hello, this is Sandy with Sandy's Crafty Creations, and today I'm sharing a video of my craft room. Last Sunday afternoon I was looking for something for a particular project and I couldn't remember where I put it, so I started going through things, and then I decided it was time to purge, clean, and reorganize. Now, I did not move any furniture, but I did change up some of the storage containers or move things from one container to another to hopefully try to make this a little bit better. So this is my room as you walk in. It's a small bedroom, but it works great for me, giving me a place to keep my stuff and be able to craft and then shut the door when I'm done. Now, in the middle of the room is my work table, which is a 3-foot by 3-foot square bar height table. I like to work while I stand up. I do have 2 bar stools, so I have a bar stool if I want to sit down, but normally I stand up at this end here, where you see there's my Diet Pepsi and a card that I made for a challenge that goes live on Monday. I have a large craft mat that I bought at Walmart in the sewing department that I really like. I use a small black organizer for some of my tools, and then my pencil holder Longaberger basket for taller tools, and my glues and inks, ink that I'm using to work with right now. I use black soot a lot. This is my Martha Stewart scoreboard. That's my favorite scoreboard because it has all the markings for your 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 inch. And down underneath I have a large Longaberger basket for trash because I can never hit a trash can, and most of the time I can hit this, and it also doesn't have to be empty very often. Luckily right now it is empty. I have a bar towel that I hang here on the side to wipe my hands when I have ink and glue on them, and I have hung up a clean towel. This is my tripod. This is where this video camera normally rests. Let's see if I can do this without making too much motion. This arm attaches to the tripod, and then the camera attaches to this, and then I can point it down over my work area when I'm working and recording a tutorial. So that works really well for me. If I'm not using the tripod, I can fold it up and stand it up against the wall. Now let's start with this first shelf over here. This is an IKEA bookcase. I turned it on its side so I could have counter space. The first cubicle has my Big Shot and the plates for embossing and cutting. Underneath, in 2 containers, I have my if I can zoom in on that, all my dies and my embossing folders. And in these other cubicles are albums, Creative Memories albums that I have finished. They all have photos in them. And in the 2 drawers, walks over there, open these for you. This is a miscellaneous drawer with different tools, my glue gun, glue sticks, my Tim Holtz embossing gun, magnets, extra blades for my cutters, things like that are in there. The second drawer has a letterpress and inks and things that go with that. Up here on the top I have another cutting mat for where I want to cut on this side. I have a basket that I keep my adhesives in, a bowl full of odd and end trinkets and flowers. These are all extras where package only has 1 or 2 left in it, and I just dump them all in here and rummage through those when I want it. I took a Dr. Pepper vintage wooden bottle case, and I've turned it on its end here, and I keep punches in that I use a lot. And then I can put a few small albums on top of that are finished. Up above that, you zoom out of there. Okay, up above that I have a coat rack, and on that I have Ziploc bags of product that I have used in different kits and things that I know I will use again, like there's some Valentine stuff there and different flowers, some rose trim that I bought at Walmart, smaller trim. This basket has different colored threads. I keep my rhinestones in a Ziploc clear cosmetic bag. This is the canvas sheets I have hanging here by push pin on the wall. And then these are extra handles that I have used in a class for different memory box kit class that I taught. And then up here is an IKEA. There's a little monkey hanging on here from NST. My IKEA CD rack. It just has an open space here underneath, but it will hold 6x6 paper pads. So it has 4 areas for those, so it holds a lot of paper pads. On a hook I have my big foam roll of foam tape, and then paper stands here when I'm cutting it. This is my Martha Stewart cutter, and this is my cutting station here. Okay, beside my cutting station counter, I have another IKEA bookshelf that's turned up and down. And in these cubicles, I have different things. On the top, I have a little shelf unit that I think I got at Home Depot. And on the end of it, I keep my chompers. On the top, I have album projects that I've finished. This Longaberger basket, which is a recipe basket, has loose baker's twine. I have wobblers in this little case, alphabet stamps, and then my squares of white cardstock for sentiments on cards. And then this over here has paper clips, colored paper clips. I have different brads and trinkets in this container here. These all separate, and the jars hold different ribbons. This box has odd and end things like that were in the bowl. And in this box that I made, I have trinkets that I have bought, charms and things like that. Oh, and I found these skulls. Got to use them for Halloween. I found those at our trade day last month, so I think those will be fun. And this is another big jar of ribbon. And then behind that I have rolls of tulle. And here in the corner I have hung 4 locker boxes, locker crates, the plastic ones that they sell when school starts. Above that I have 3 more jars of ribbon. And these Glad storage containers, I have open embossing powders in plastic spoons so that I can just put the embossing powder on and then let it go back into the containers. And these are loose flowers. And this unit here is for my ribbon, my stamps that are on wood blocks, more ribbon in jars, buttons, brads and trinkets, and at the very top some more of my finished projects. In this corner on a TV tray I have this revolving, I can't remember what they call it, that has these clips, so I have odd and end embellishments that haven't been opened yet, or they have been opened and they're in Ziploc bags, so I have a lot of that on there. This box is another one that I made, and it has coin envelopes to make little projects with. Then I have a turn table for my stickles. I have my large templates hanging on a hook up here on the wall. And this is from Micromark revolving paint holder, so that holds all my paints. Inks are there. Clips. It's a memory box I made for my dad for his birthday one year, and that's a silhouette of my daughter when she was a child and went to Disney World or Disneyland. I have my paints in a glass jar, my Stampin' Up! Inks, embossing inks on this little shelf, and my art journal books, and another box of trinket finds that I found at the trade days. This is my grandmother's, oops, sorry, I nearly stepped on a cat. This is my grandmother's sewing machine. It does not have the sewing machine in it, but I use the drawers for different things. The top drawer, the knob has long been gone. I have many clothespins and the hooks for that revolving stand for products. It's kind of hard to get the drawers back in. This drawer has brads. This drawer has different, I find bracelets at the antique mall. Then I use the charms off of them. So different trinkets and things that I find are in that drawer. Underneath here I have boxes of photos that are extras that are already in albums. And a lot of my metal, Tim Holtz metal stuff in my Tim Holtz metal findings box. Way under here is supplies like Tyvek and Craftex and just paper rolls that I need, my craft mat to when I'm painting and things like that. On this shelf again, in the cubbies, this one I have paper, 12 by 12 paper pads, some kits that I have bought, album kits, rubber stamps, acrylic stamps are in here, my stamp pad and ink pad, acrylic blocks, some more 12 by 12 paper pads. These are empty. I usually put scraps and things in those. Down here I have a basket with different American Craft threads. It's not completely full. Underneath it has more of these laundry pegs, but I use these sometimes to roll ribbons on. Some Tim Holtz stamps back there, inks in this basket, some papers way back there in my clamps for when I'm gluing. This roller has different tools, my Copic refill inks, and then I have my mixed media smaller templates in one of those plastic cases. On the very bottom is my Distress ink pens, and the ink pens I use for mixed media and some more albums. An empty basket for whatever needs to be thrown into it. Back here on the sewing machine, this drawer has paper clips and rings, staple refills, safety pins, things like that. Second drawer down has tags, and the third drawer, if I can open it, has grommets and things like that. Okay, now I'm ready to show you this section. This is a little offset section of my craft room. On this wall I have my bulletin board, my Elvis scarf from an Elvis impersonator from NSC last year, and my flamingo necklace, my Route 66 sign that I got when hubby and I drove down part of the Route 66. And this is my IKEA office chair, and I'm going to pull this back and show you underneath the desk. I have these drawer units, and all of them have either projects I'm working on or going to work on, or paper album kits. I have a basket of flowers that are not opened. Open them as I need them. More paper kits. I have enough projects probably to keep me busy for the rest of my life, I suppose. Wouldn't need to buy anything. In those little shoe boxes are my daughter's, her wooden rubber stamp sets that are hers. And this basket down here, I have more paper kits. And then of course I have a TV to watch when I'm crafting. I don't watch it very often, but sometimes I want to watch a show or something, or listen to it. And my computer that I use to watch tutorials on. And then a little stuffed dog that was my mom's, so she wanted bingo when she lived in a nursing home, and my Copic notebook. And on this first shelf I have a little Halloween box that I made. It has little Halloween mini albums in it that are either in progress. This is a card that I recently made. I stack them up here. I have another box of cards in another room, and a little box I'm going to alter. This little unit holds completed mini albums and gift cards holders. Another cat that can't remember what they're called, that I bought several years ago. This is a finished project. This is a treasures box. My B2B project, Kathy Orta. My granddaughter Emily's graduation box, an album is inside, and a box, memory box I'm making for my in memory of my sister, and a lapbook album that I made at a class at Cat's Creation Scrapbooks. There's my Kit Kat clock. And an album page that I made several years ago of a great niece, Sona May. I like the page, I just never have changed it out of that frame. Now on this shelf up here, I'm going to have to hold my camera way up. It's kind of hard to... I have these little plastic units. This one here is for technical stuff like my camera case and batteries and stuff like that. Same for this one. This holds extra pictures, recent pictures, invitations I received, Christmas cards, and things that I want to put in an album on the top drawer. These two drawers hold 8.5 by 11 white cardstock for cards, and this drawer holds my notebooks with ideas for projects I'm going to design. My 8.5 by 11 cardstock, my gelatos, markers, and things like that. I just pull the drawer out when I need it. This has, let's see here. Yeah, Prismacolor pens. Those are actually my daughter's. Chalks, refills for adhesives, my label maker, and then little empty plastic containers in case I need them for storage of different things. And my Inktense pens are in this box by my Bunny Rabbit. The next shelf has finished projects that I have made and albums and some books that I loved when I was a kid. They're not my books. I bought these since at the various trade markets and antique malls. I like Nancy Drew. There's The Hidden Staircase and The Secret of the Old Clock. And then I have Charlotte's Web and Grimm's Fairy Tales, which is a really old book. And then these are the little red wagon holds other paper boxes that I've made. At the very top is knickknacks that were my mother and my grandmother's music boxes and just different things like that that I like to keep. That little heart, my mother painted that one of the last years that she was alive at the nursing home. And that's what's in this corner here. These wood pieces here go out in my hallway. We're in the process of painting the hall and redoing the floor out in the hall. So they're kind of strategically hidden behind my shelf here. Okay, on the opposite wall by the window, I have two windows in this room, is the hope chest that belonged to my mother, and inside of it, I'm not going to open it up because I have to take things off, is my daughter's, some of her old toys and keepsakes, some quilts and afghans and things like that. And there is a Halloween project that I made, a memory box, my Route 66 album, and another album I've made, and this little suitcase I bought at the antique mall. And inside of it are some mini albums for Christmas and Halloween that I've made. And my little piano that I got when I was 3 years old for Christmas, and it still plays. A picture of one of the cats, a picture of hubby and I, some flowers. So I like to add some of my decorative, my fun things that I like. Up here is a birdhouse I painted, and a framed family thing of my hubby and I at the ocean, and my daughter Ava dog, and my daughter and her husband, and some other projects I've done. And this is a unit from Oriental Trading. I forget the brand name of it, but it came from Oriental Trading. You have to symbol it. My son-in-law did that for me. And it has a good counter space where I have a craft mat for inking. This is my vintage stamp holder. And then the case that I have for my Tim Holtz inks. And this little buckets for the Copics that I've used on a recent project. My Copics are all inside this case that my husband made for me. The lid slides off and I can take the whole unit out and set it on my table. And these shelves from Oriental Trading have larger cubicles than the IKEA ones, so the art bin boxes will fit right in here. So these are all projects that I'm currently working on, or not quite finished, or going to make. Down underneath here in this door down here is my Copic compressor and different extra trimmers. I have refill pages for albums in there, my envelope punch. That door has my daughter's pictures that she hasn't scrapbooked. I have a sewing machine that I got for, I think it was $35 at the Trade Day, from my sister-in-law that I use just for sewing paper. And instead of Build-A-Bear, I do Build-A-Cat, scrapbooking cat. My Ott light, Behind the sewing machine in the Mickey case is sewing thread and just different things, odd end things hanging on the wall. This shelf has pictures of my daughter, my high heel tape dispenser, and some more albums that I made. Life is Simple, Eat, Sleep, and Crop is a vinyl that I bought on Etsy and put up there. This is my current circus wagon that I'm working on. I'm using the Graphic 45 Le Cirque. I've got to make the album, so I haven't made the album yet for that. And this is my speakers, my iPhone player for when I want to listen to music. I listen to Pandora. And let's see. I'm going to turn this off so we can go to the next unit and share that. This paper unit is from Michaels. It holds my 12 by 12 cardstock and my loose 12 by 12 papers, and then the drawers down at the bottom is just different supplies. I have duct tape in one, extra glues, embossing powders and things like that I don't use that often, but I keep them in the drawers. On top of this unit is my gumball machine, and this cute little puppy dog that's going to go with another project I'm going to work on. And my current project that I'm doing the tutorial, and I hope to have it finished by Monday, is my circus wagon and mini album. And I'm just really excited how this turned out. It's really, really cute. This is a photo frame that you can slide a picture in and put your loved ones in behind in the cage. And if you take this down, it's hiding back behind there my shelf with my grandchildren, my stepson and stepdaughter's children. They're older than they are in these pictures, so I need to update these. But I like to have those on the shelf so that I can see them. Okay, in front of this other window I have a rolling cart with drawers, and in those drawers are extra page protectors for albums on the bottom, and then more of the larger stamps, especially my border stamps that I use on projects. And this basket on the floor by the lamp has my 8x8 Graphic 45 and chipboard sets. This basket holds my 12x12 Graphic 45. I love Graphic 45. And then there's a project, this project is finished. It's a Tim Holtz portfolio that will go in the Kathy Orta dollhouse that I'll be working on. I've started it but I haven't finished it. It's in another room, and my mini album. And in these cases, the vintage picnic basket has mini albums and things, and also in that cardboard suitcase, and that's my Kathy Orta trunk that I finished. And this vintage overnight case has my score tape supply stash and my glues. And here is another project I'm working on. This is a Graphic 45 Old Sport box and album that I'm making for my grandson's baseball photos. And then this is my craft crop tote. I have extra crop bags in there that I take to crops or retreats, and so that's what I keep that in there. This closet is never opened except to decorate for Christmas. It holds all my Christmas decorations and ornaments, so I do not use it for craft supplies. It is strictly for my Christmas stuff. And then here is my dollhouse that I made years and years and years ago. The flag I just stuck there because I had an extra flag, but it's a 3-story farmhouse, and it's turned around this way so that cats cannot get inside the little rooms because they like to get up in there and lay down. So in the little windows you can see there's furniture inside the rooms. And then this chest of drawers was the furniture that was in another bedroom, but I've kept it in here. The top drawer is memorabilia of my son-in-law that needs to be put in albums, my plastic bags for my cards, gift bags, and things like that. And the next drawer is my mother's doilies that she crocheted, and some quilts, and the same in the third drawer is where I keep quilts. And there's also a air mattress, one of the big air mattresses. So if someone needs to sleep in here, I can move my craft table that's in the center